How you doing? I'm Mick James. We are here at Freedom of Speech Recording Studio, and we're here today to make a video. A lot of people are wondering, who the fuck is Mick James? Okay, well, I'm Mick James. I'm a songwriter, producer, musician, best known for my work with Chris Angel on the Mind Freak TV show. Written music with Chris throughout the entire 6 seasons, including the Mind Freak theme, some of your favorite stunts. I'm sure you've heard a lot of it behind there. It's led to a lot of other things at this point where I've been placing music on everything from Jet playoff games and Super Bowl games to CBS, NBC, MTV, VH1, HBO. The list goes on and on, all that fun stuff. I work with a lot of bands here in the studio, but now it's my turn. So I'm working on a solo CD where I'm playing all the instruments. I'm going to be singing lead vocals, and the CD itself is going to be a soundtrack to a movie I'm making. So I'm actually going to be acting in this movie, as well as it's got an amazingly cool script that's you're going to love. And if you guys dig stuff like, the music you hear on the Mind Freak TV show, or Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson type of thing, you're going to really, really dig this. So what I'll be doing here is showing like little clips of me in the studio, recording some of the music, singing some things.
That was brutal.
And I can't tell you too much about the movie because it's very, very, very on the down low and secretive. But stay tuned, because you're gonna dig it.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
Where's Mick? He's supposed to meet me here tonight. Really?
Yeah.
Can I help you?
What's going on? I thought I was supposed to do an interview with you today. Let's go. What are you doing sleeping? It's not time to sleep. It's daylight, I know that, but really, Mick, the coffin? Let's go. You're not dead yet. Welcome to Rockin' Inc. live from New York City. I'm here with Mickey James and Koo, and I got tonight my special Halloween edition. And tonight, Mickey James is a songwriter, producer, an engineer, musician, and actor. He's most widely known for his music, including the hit TV series with Chris Angel, Mind Freak. Highly recognized Mind Freak theme song was written by Mickey James and Chris Angel and produced by Jonathan Davis of Korn. So Mickey's got a lot of things he's done in his career. We're gonna find out where he started, how he got there, and where he's going. A lot of good things happen in Mickey's life right now, right, Mick?
Rock and roll. Thank you.
Alright, so I got you guys here, and you know, things are really starting out. I know we'll get to it later, but you had a big show, your first show this weekend.
Yes.
And we have some footage. We're going to show some footage on that also. But where I really want to go, because there's going to be people watching that, who is Mickey James? Right? Who is
It's a good
Mickey
question. It's a very good question.
Right, so Mickey James, coming back from years back, I know you started out and you had a band called Earth Eats Dog.
Yes.
Now, did you have something prior to that?
There's always stuff prior to that. I played
Nothing solid.
nothing solid. You know, we did a bunch of different things and tried different things and played with bands that almost had record deals. But Earth Eats Dog, I think, got out there and traveled around Europe and did a lot of good stuff. But, you know, unfortunately, it's another one of those disappointments in the rock and roll business where you're making a lot of headway, but nothing really happened with it.
I understand that, but you had a lot of good times with that. I know
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
are on the road, and you still have fans, because I know once in a while you get together, the group of guys. and you do
my
some shows.
brother, me and my brother, plus the other two guys, were pretty much became brothers after all the years we played together. So we always would love to get together and do reunions.
Now, the stint after Earth Eats Dog. Now you were out of the country. You're back in the country. Where did you go with your music career after that?
Well, I mean, as the Chris Angel thing started to kind of take off, I started to place on a lot of different music, you know, on a lot of different TV shows and things like that. But what really got crazy was when I decided to do a solo CD. And that's when things started to kind of take off, and now we're starting to play live. And you know, it's a very interesting story. It's part of a movie. Mick James is Dead is the movie and the CD. Same name and same storyline. And, you know, that's really what we're looking to get out there to the masses.
Okay, so I want to go back to what we have here. A nice, spooky, dungeony place that we're in right now. But anyway, this is your Freedom of Speech studio. So
Yes.
how did you get into building this? What made you say, I want to go into build a studio, I want to be an engineer? And
Well, I think it had a lot to do with just being really disappointed recording with people and things not sounding the way I wanted them to sound. So I had to more or less take it into my own hands. You know, people would tell me, as a bass player growing up, your bass can't sound like that. Why not? You know, this is the way I wanted to sound. And that became an issue. So it got to the point where I started recording, started doing my own little home recordings. And next thing you know, turned into a whole full-blown thing. And then, you know, started recording for different people and all different local bands. And, you know, was lucky enough to hook up with the Chris Angel thing, which really took it to another level.
now, where did you, at what point, how did you hook up with Chris Angel? How did that all come about?
Kind of like a fluke, you know. We're both from Long Island, you know. He's from East Meadow, and I've been living out here. I've lived all over the place, Long Island. And my ex-wife was his makeup artist, and he had asked her about me. He said, I heard your ex is a songwriter, and, you know, would be interested in writing some songs for me. And me and Chris talked and got together, and seemed like a good fit. And 11 years later, here I am, you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna get back to all of that. I got a lot more questions about the Chris Angel thing and the Mind Freak and all of that. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Mick James and Cool. We're gonna go to one of our videos of Mick's live performance, and this first video we're gonna see is which one?
This is the opener. I came out in my coffin. I was carried on stage, and it was, you know, a lot of people weren't expecting that. Very cool. It's a song called Guess What, You're Dead.
All right, Mick James, guess what? You're dead. Here, Mickey James is dead.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your number one resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the number one supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
We're back, Rockin' Inc. I'm here with Mick James and Koo. Is it Koo? Do I say it that way? Koo.
You can say it however you want.
Cuckoo, that's what I call it.
Alright, so we left before. I was talking a little about Chris Angel. So you were involved with Chris for a lot of years and a lot of his projects. So let's talk about some of the projects and a lot of stuff that you did with him.
Well, I've done all 7 seasons of Mind Freak, all the specials that he did. I mean, it was Halloween specials, it was on different networks, it was his Believe show in Vegas, did a bunch of music for that. All his internet stuff, he did internet broadcast network, did a bunch of music for that. He had a new TV series on Spike recently, he did some music for that. And just like everything throughout the years, whatever he needed, you know, probably like over 150 pieces of music here and there, and a lot of them full songs. And you know, some of it was really interesting to see what happens with it. You know, you come up with some music and you hand it over to him, and then you see like he's floating above the Luxor, and using your music. I mean, there's nothing freakier than that. It was great, great to see stuff like that. You know, you never really know what's gonna end up being edited with in the TV show, and that was really cool. You know, so that's really, you know, the bulk of it. I mean, I've pretty much been there for 11 years doing all the stuff. You know,
It must have been cool getting footage of all of Chris's stuff prior to everyone else seeing it, and you're seeing before everyone else, and that must have been really
Sometimes
cool.
I had to, you know, write music to a specific thing that he was doing, and that was always really cool. And but a lot of times I got surprised as well. Like I'd watch the show and be like, you know, I didn't see that one coming. You know.
Yeah. So you used to go a lot out to Vegas and do a lot of stuff out there with him, right?
Yeah.
So what's your relationship now with Chris? I know, you know, you've got a lot of things going on, and you're sort of like distant from each other now?
Well,
or?
we're still, you know, I mean, if he needs music, he calls me. And bottom line is, you know, I'm doing this thing now, and I'm pretty much becoming from behind the scenes as a producer, and now becoming the artist. And that came about just because the fans kept saying to me, you know, what are you doing? Why don't you put out your own CD? At first they didn't know who I was, and kind of found out who I was through Facebook and MySpace and all that stuff, and Twitter. And once people started finding out, and they realized, like, I know that song, I know this song, I know that song from the show, oh my God, you're the guy who did it, then they started saying to me, when are you doing your own CD? Okay. So that's kind of what prompted the solo CD, and that's kind of what at a certain point with Earth Eats Dog, was getting like, my brother wasn't really interested in being, you know, pursuing it like for real anymore, and I said, you know, that's great, we're still playing, have fun, but, you know, I was still kind of pursuing it for real, so that's really how it started. Just kind of like came up with this crazy concept of Mick James is dead, and you know, it started this whole thing, and it was about a 5-year project putting it together. You know, with all these little things going on between the movie script and the songwriting process, and the script feeding off the songs feeding off the script, back and forth, going back and forth, and having a background with Chris doing like theatrical music, if you will, really kind of helped a lot.
Yeah, so my other question would be, how did you come up with Mickey James is Dead? Where did that come from?
Well,
right out of the box.
My name is Mickey, everybody calls me Mickey, but it's Mick James is Dead. Mick James is my alter ego, if you will. It's not really about me. It's my name, but it's not about me, it's like an alter ego. It came about with a buddy of mine. We were working on some music, and I was looking for a name of my new project. I wanted my name in it because it was going to be a solo thing, and he just said, blurted it out one day, you know, why don't you call it Mick James is Dead? And I was like, you know, talking about me, you know, and I didn't process it right away, and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, it was just like spewing out of me, like song titles and lyrics, and, you know, writing this whole thing on the side of this page over here on the right, like this is what I'm going to do when this song kicks in, this song, and it turns out like I was writing this whole thing. I didn't realize, but I talked to a couple people, and one guy said, you know, you're not really writing a CD, you're kind of like writing a movie, and you're making the soundtrack to it. And that's kind of how it started, and then we kind of treated it that way. And the weird thing was, in the beginning, there was 4 or 5 songs that were fueling the script. And as it went on, and the script caught up to the songs, then all of a sudden the script got further, and then I had to write music to fit the script. So it was kind of, which I was used to doing anyway, so it was a very different process in the sense of never really being involved in the movie end of it that way, and it's kind of funny too. Like people kept asking me to be on camera for different things like that, and they kept saying, you know, I'd never acted before, but people kept saying, you look great on camera, you should be an actor, you should be an actor. So it's kind of like, why not? Why not do a movie, star in my own movie, you know? And the character is again my name, but it's not me. It's an alter ego of myself. It's definitely a really cool story. The script is amazing. We're shopping that right now. We're trying to get some budget for the movie, and but the priority is really to play live, and we're depicting the story live as well to a degree. You know, with little dialogue pieces from the CD in between the songs, which will eventually be followed by film behind us live, and you know it tells the story song by song in a row down, explaining a bit about it. And then when you see it live, you'll see a little more. And then when the movie comes out, everybody, you'll really get what's going on.
Really know what's happening with it. Yeah. So what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna go out to another break. We're gonna be back. We're gonna have more conversation with Mick James, and we're gonna find out a little bit more on why Mick James is dead. Now we're gonna go to a second live video of Mick James' performance. And what is this song, Mick?
This is called Dead and Gone, Am I Forgotten?
Let's go to the video. Mick James.
Where are my actual friends? My cousins, my uncles. My mother didn't even go up to the casket.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your number one resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the number one supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive. Selected for their unique, memorable flavor, Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your number one resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the number one supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies.
Alright, it's time for my model spotlight, and I haven't done a model spotlight in about 4 or 5 weeks, so I've been anxious to get this going. I have some models waiting to be shown. So I have Miranda Kay, and she's from Kentucky, and I think it's Central City, Kentucky. She's a small town girl, and she's just started out in the business. She has a great look, and she's actually up for to be in a magazine. I got some pulls right now. I got some of the girls, my model spotlights, I'm putting in magazines. and they love her. So I want you to see her job and what she's got going on and give her some support. So here's my model spotlight for today.
Welcome to Rockin' Ink MC. I'm Miranda Kay. I am from the state of Kentucky. I live in a very small town called Central City. There's not much here, but I'm trying to promote myself to get out there some. I would love nothing more to be a model, especially in inked magazines, tattoo magazines. Tattoos are my life. I love them. If you can see in some of my pictures, I basically covered. So if you could help support me and find my page, it's Miranda Kay. Thanks and have a great day.
We're going to go to our third video of the live performance of Mick James. And what song would this be, Mick?
This one's a love song. It's called Die Motherfucker Die.
Nice title to a love song. Mick James.
I even get laid when I'm dead.
So you think you have the world by the prize, huh? Look. Would you like another cup of coffee?
Why won't you fucking die? Why won't you? Why won't you? Come on, sing it with me, sing it with me. Die, motherfucker, die. Why won't you fucking die? Die, motherfucker, die. Expire. Why won't you fucking die? Expire, expire. Motherfucker, die. Why won't you fucking die?
I'm back with Mickey James and Koo. And we're going to get to Koo this time because I want to talk to Mickey about the Mickey James is Dead CD. So you got the project, you started recording, and you had to play all the instruments, and now you probably got to the point where you said, wow, I wish I could do this and do that. So where did you go as far as, did you bring any people in to play on your CD?
Yeah, I mean, I played everything except for drums. I could play drums, but not to the degree that I really, really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I played all the bass, guitar, and keyboards, and did the orchestrations and all that kind of stuff. And we just happened to have like people that I knew that were around, like Snake from Skid Row. He came in and played on a solo, did a great job. Tony Harnell from TNT came in and sang on a song. Bumblefoot from Guns N' Roses was kind of a fluke because I met him with Tony. They were doing a project together. However, initially he was supposed to be DJ Ashbro was going to play, and he might still play on the soundtrack. But he's on the West Coast, and you know, we're here in New York, and it got really tough scheduling wise. And Bumblefoot, you know, was out here a lot. I kept running into him, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm playing a track." So he was super cool. And then we had Bobby Rondinelli, who was a local, who was just like, you know, the drum god as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. It's our drum god of Long Island and everywhere else.
Yeah, he played on 4 tracks, and that was a thrill. And it was just great to have all these guys who were known guys who were supporting and, you know, who were so into just doing it. And really, you know, took the songs that they played on and really made them like special. And that was great. But then, of course, we got to the point where I did the CD and I had it out, and everyone kept saying, okay, well, when you're playing, and then of course, I don't have 16 hands, so we had to put a band together. So my first choice for a guitar player was Koo.
Okay.
And
Alright, so Koo, where do you know Koo from?
You know, he was in a band that came in that I was recording.
Oh,
I met him
okay.
as he came in a band that I was recording, and I just thought he was a great player. He's a great singer. He actually came in on a couple of songs on the CD and sang some backgrounds. So I knew he could sing, I knew he could play. He was just a cool guy, you know, very creative, and I said, you know what, this guy would be perfect for the gig. And he was into playing the 7 strings, all 7 string stuff, so picked up a guitar, and then, you know, it worked out. We had tried a couple guys in between because Koo had got injured, so I didn't know if he was going to be able to do the gig, and nobody was working out. So it was just a stroke of luck and the grace of God that he was, you know, felt better enough to go for it. So once we got him, that was great. The drummer we got is Brian Call, young 24-year-old kid, kicking ass, doing good, really picked up quick, and you know, we formed something really good. We had some issues with bass players. We have a guy right now, Joe Meyer, who's filling in. We don't know if he's going to be a permanent member yet, but he's doing some of the gigs, and that's great. And he's in a couple other bands, so we're not sure how that's going to roll out. But it's just, you know, it's been lucky enough to get these great guys, and we did our first show, you know, last weekend, and it was just fantastic when these guys came in and put their A game and they played their asses off, and you know, I didn't have to worry about them, and I just kind of went out there and did my thing, and it was great.
And it must be hard now, you as being a bass player, now you're out in front and you're singing, and you're actually playing guitar too.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new ball game for you to get used to it, right?
Well, the guitar thing is strange enough. You know, you do the whole pedals and the volumes and all the bullshit. You know, you're playing a bass, and that's something in itself. And then, you know, the singing thing is very different, especially the way I sing. It just kind of ripped my head off from beginning to end. And there's a lot of learning curves in that. There's a lot of really making sure that you're in good shape and you're kind of like, you know, able to breathe when you're on stage. That was the biggest thing I had a problem with on the first show, is saying, you know, I usually move around and do all this while I'm in rehearsal. So that was, you know.
You learn a few things.
Yeah,
I went through that transition, and I learned not to eat 4 or 5 hours prior. I don't put nothing in my stomach.
No, that's a factor too.
I learned one of those things, but it's a lot to learn, and it was great. I was there for your first show, and I was blown away. The band is super tight.
Yeah.
The sound, you have that CD unique sound with the band happening, which is a lot of things that don't happen with bands live, you know. But it was there. It was a great club to do it in. They have a great sound system there.
Yeah, great lights.
Things I would like to grasp on, and since I do a lot of stuff with tattoos, let's talk a little about your rink here. So, what's your favorite stuff? Where did you get your work done?
This is definitely a montage of a lot of different things over the years. I mean, I think like these are one of the first tattoos I ever got with the cartoons, and then I said, oh, I'm going to get away from cartoons, and I ended up getting the Beatles. Yellow Submarine cartoon all over me, so I'm very cartooned out, but I love the colors. You know, there were spot tattoos all over the place. My kids on my
the feet and stuff.
When they were a month old, they were so tiny, born little preemies, and you know, and then like once I had some open space I wanted to fill, it was a Yellow Submarine theme, and it just, you know, I loved it. We had the blue meanies and the Colonel over here, and you know, it just kind of filled it in. I love it. I mean, you know.
Who do you use as an artist?
Jeannie Sherry from
Sherry, and she's been on my 69. Show. She's been on my show, and she's great.
We also had my friend Albie. Albie did some of these. I think he's with Peter Tattoo, and you know, I have a whole arm here. I'm waiting to fill up on the other side, so we'll be getting more work.
I got
and,
2 naked arms that are ready to get started. I'm completely naked.
That's right. Hang on with me for a little while.
Speaking of kids, I see you said you have your kids.
Yeah.
So you have a pair of twins, I see.
Yes.
That's great. How is it being a father?
That's great. I love it. You know, they don't understand me completely yet, but they're 8 years old. They're almost 9, and Dad, how come you look like that? Dad, how come you're not like the other dads? You know, I pick them up from school. Dad, how come your hair's like this?
Well, let me tell you something. They're never going to get it because I have a
No.
23-year-old, a 20 and 16-year-old, and they still say the same thing about me.
believe
And I'm
it.
not that weird looking.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's a whole different thing. But I love being a dad, and they're great kids, and you know, it's all good. You know.
So, moving forward, what is your big picture for Mick James in your project? You know, where are we looking in the future? Where you're heading?
We're definitely looking in the future real soon. Really funny, I think I was telling you this behind the scenes. You know, this first show was supposed to be like, we were supposed to do a couple of warm-up shows before we played in front of anybody important. And, you know, it didn't work out that way. We ended up filming for the TV show, and there's some industry people in the audience, and luckily everything worked out really well. But, you know, the idea for sure is to get our stage lights, get our stuff together, and then get on a major tour. Whether it be, you know, the countries or around the States, we're not really sure yet where they're going to take us first. But that's definitely the plan, is to kind of get the tour out there, get the music out there. There's fans all over that keep saying, when you come into my town, when you come to Texas, when you come to Virginia, when you come in here, when you come in there, when you come to Canada, even UK, and, you know, we have a bunch of fans in Spain and Australia, just like all over the world. And you keep saying, when you're coming, so I'm hoping soon. You know, we just need to get it together a little bit and do some more warm-up stuff, hone the show a bit, because there's a bit of a theatrical thing, as you saw.
Sure.
And, you know, the truth is that once we're ready, we're going to be getting on a proper tour, getting out there and playing. Once we start getting the word out there and people start grasping the concept of what's happening, we're going to be pursuing the movie end of it. And the movie end of it, I think, will take it to a whole nother level. I mean, that's, you know, it's very much like a underground Rocky Horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very different, you know, very different than that, but it's got that vibe to it. It's a dark fantasy thriller, and it's going to be very interesting.
So, don't forget, we'll look for Mickey James on the road. He'll be out there. He's going to be popping around. Actually, here in New York on December 7th, it's a Sunday. Mickey's headlining his premiere Long Island debut show here at Revolution in Amityville, New York. So if you live in the area, December 7th, it's a Sunday afternoon. We're not doing a weekend. It's a special event. We're actually filming the event also. There'll be 2 other bands playing. And that's in December 7th in Amityville.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to that. And, you know, you got some time, so you got to, you know, work out your little kinks, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Looking forward, you know, that should hopefully be the next thing that we film. And we'll get it together before that, you know, to hone it a little more.
Yeah. You want to tell everybody your social media?
Oh, definitely. Well, you can find me, my main website is mickjamesisdead.com. You can find my Facebook on there, my Twitter, links to my Reverb Nation, how to get a CD and all that stuff. And you can always find me on Facebook and all that too. On Twitter, I'm at MickJamesBitch. And, you know, but if you go to mickjamesisdead.com, you can find everything. You can find my fan page.
You got iTunes, all of that.
It's all on iTunes.
Get people buy the hard copy CD too?
You know what?
Some people like the hard copy.
A lot of people do. Funny enough, I initially started selling CDs first, and then it kind of went a little bit on the you know, iTunes, and I'm on a whole bunch of different RDO, or I don't know how you say radio, all these different, you know, Spotify and all those. And that went on for a little while, and then it seems like the last like couple hundred copies are all like people want CDs. You know, they like that I sign them. Like anybody buys a CD, I sign them. I have a CD package out, so you can get a CD, an 8x10 signed, addressed to yourself, custom pick, and they also get the CD itself signed.
Oh,
so,
great.
you know, it's really cool that they get the package, and they like the signature, so I guess a lot of people get them if they want to upload it to their iPod or whatever, they still can.
They can do it.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's great.
So, and they get the artwork and everything. I hate the iTunes thing when you can't really show artwork and you don't get the credits and everybody was involved. So many people involved behind the scene in this thing, because it's theatrical and photos and graphics and all this stuff. So when you get the CD, you get the full picture.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. We'll be back, and thanks to Mick James and Koo. And don't forget, December 7th. See you later.
Rock and roll.
you sign my tip?
And your name is?
Kelly?
And?
Lily. We're roommates. We share everything.
This is gonna be interesting.
Hey, Mick, sound check tomorrow, 3:45. Make sure you're there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Nice room.
You like that, huh? Nice.
Yo, Mick.
What time is it? Oh, fuck. 56 missed calls.
Don't you have a show today?
Don't worry, they'll wait for you.
Funeral plans full of mad shit has hit the fan. Timing runs short for this mother man. The scene of the crime is mine, all mine. Don't know why, God, I gotta die. I don't know why, yeah, I guess it's my time. Rika says I'm ready and she never lies. The scene of the crime is mine, all mine. Speeding like a fiend, heading to the death scene. Speeding like a fiend, yeah, I'm heading to my death scene. Coming round the bend, this is where it ends. No use in crying or even lying. No, my friends, you'll never see me again. The scene of the crime is mine, all mine. Screeching tires, gotta see my life flashing by, slow motion time. I can't deny at 100 miles. The scene of the crime is mine, all mine. Speeding like a fiend, heading to the death scene. Speeding like a fiend, yeah, I'm heading to my death scene. This is real, I got no control. It's the end, gotta let knows, play the part of being used. The more she hides, the more I show. I wanna be abused by you. Her body's like an undertow. You're drowning everything in me. The way she moves, the way she knows everything I need.